Welcome everybody to our in the middle of the week segment of new music, because today is a new music Friday from our perspective. Today a lot of music.
By the way, this is Blood on the Mic.
This is Blood on the Mic.
Welcome to Blood on the Mic. I'm your host Louis Torna with
David Mercado.
There you go. You got to do that part first.
Okay, do you want to just redo it?
No, it's fine. We can do that. I'm leaving this in.
All right, so we are doing a new music segment today. We're going to be talking about new music that is coming out. And today in particular, it is July 10th of 2020. And a lot of this music came out just today, but some of it has been from the past week or two. So we're going to listen to the songs themselves and then give you our opinion.
We got 10 new songs we're going to talk about, give you our basically first reaction. This is a reaction video, basic, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start off here with Kanye West. I think most of you guys know who Kanye is. He's going through a bipolar...
he's going through a bipolar phase.
But yeah, he's
running for president.
Now. He is running for president, supposedly. And he released a song recently with Travis Scott. This song that we're going to listen to is called Wash Us
in the Blood. And also it was... I don't know if it was necessarily co-produced with Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre had a hand in it. I think he either mixed the song or helped him produce it or something like that. But his new album that he says is coming out, I mean, Kanye West has a bunch of shit, so he might not even make a new album. But he says he's making a new album with Dr. Dre, and that would be interesting if that actually happened. So let's give it a listen.
Yep. All right, then we're back. We just finished listening to "Wash Us in the Blood" by Kanye West featuring Travis Scott. Okay, I'll just go first. I like the instrumental. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite EA instrumental, but I like the percussion that was on there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounded kind of like a more refined, like Yeezus beat, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
With the kind of like, because the main, I guess, like melodic part or something was really like the siren sounding synth that was going on. And like, then it had like really, I love the percussion on there, just the hard like kicks and like the bass notes that's going on. It was really...
Well, there was also like I don't know, there seemed to be like, I don't know, congas.
Yeah, yeah.
There was definitely something like playing in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess lyrically wise, maybe like I like some of where it comes from. There's, talk about the policeman, and probably like a bit of a reflection of like what's happening right now.
Well, it seemed like the track was "Wash Us in the Blood," so like wash us in the blood of Christ. So basically asking God to like help us in these trying times. Because he's Christian now.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing.
Well, he's always been.
I mean, he's like really Christian now.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to make Christian music.
Yeah.
And I get that was what the message that he was trying to do. And honestly, I think Travis Scott did a better job of like saying stuff about that too, because he starts off his verse with like saying 30 states have death penalty.
Yeah.
And like thou shalt not kill. How do I like
which is the one that like included the word rendezvous in there?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I don't know. That kind of got me on like a weird track, because like a lot of the pronunciation that they have felt more French than like
in the song.
Yeah, they said the word rendezvous, and like rendezvous is a French word, but like it fits so well into like their rapping style that like I don't know. I kind of started hearing for the way they pronounce like words.
Yeah.
And like,
well, in the beginning, Kanye West was like, I don't know, like mumbling all his words.
Right.
It kind of sounded like just his verse and like his vocals kind of sounded like a demo. Like he was just like unfinished, which is kind of a thing with him now. Like he kind of just like says whatever.
He kind of just writes lyrics, and he's just like, well, maybe something should come before this, but I'll
he's like, yeah, I'll ad-lib it later. And it's like, did you listen to The Life of Pablo?
Yeah.
You remember the song 30 Hours?
Yeah.
That was the most infuriating thing.
Why?
Because I love that song,
yeah,
but then he just turns it to shit. Because like the first few verses, like, oh, this is good shit. This is good shit. And he actually has like one good verse, maybe two, I don't remember. And then the last like 3 minutes of the song is just him talking in the booth about random shit, and him saying to Andre 3000, like one of the best rappers of all time, is like, "Hey, just hum some shit." What? just say 30 hours. Like maybe put a verse down.
30 hours. Yeah, I don't understand how Kanye's doing. Like, I understand what he's doing, but it's not impressive. If that makes any sense.
Like this song or his career?
No, his lately his lyrical.
Lyrically,
approach.
yeah, lyrically he is not.
I feel like he's convinced himself that whatever comes out of his mouth is magic or gold.
Okay, here's the thing.
And he's literally just putting whatever comes to mind on.
Here's the thing with Kanye. I think what I like about what he's doing now is like it seems just like incredible honesty. Like just anything that's happening to him, he's just gonna honestly say it. Just say it. Just put it out there. He's not gonna filter it. Like this is his whole thing. Like you can't silence me. You don't filter me. I'm just gonna say everything I believe, say everything I'm thinking, put it out there.
Right.
I mean, the first song on his last album, not his last album, but the one before that, Yay. It's like I thought about killing you. I think it was called. It's just him saying like, I actually love that one because he just said like, I thought about killing you. And I thought about killing myself, and I love myself, and I don't know. He's just saying a bunch of shit, and it's like it sounds like ramblings, but I like it because it's kind of just like I don't know, peering into his mind and like unrefined.
But like I don't think it's good.
No, it's not. It's not.
I'm just like I don't want to.
It's not good all the time.
I don't want to live with Kanye. I don't want to be his therapist. I really don't care.
I don't think it's good all the time, or even like most of the time. But it's interesting. I think it's always at least for me. I think it's always interesting.
I think I would be more interested if I cared about him more. Maybe. I like his music. I like, a lot of what he, and maybe at some point I was a little bit more invested into like his own personal life because it obviously feeds a lot into his music. But by this point I'm like I really don't want to like take on this baggage. Like you handle your problems how you handle your problems. If it helps you making music, that's fine. But like,
well, I'm also
don't expect me to like say anything nice about it.
And this is like my like justification of his lyrics. I mean, but I also just like the music that he like the beats and stuff.
Right.
Like, if I didn't like the beats, I wouldn't listen to it. So.
Right. I mean, like I keep coming back because he does have like good production, but like I'm also wondering like how long this production is gonna last. Like how long are people gonna work with him? Like at some point, you figured it would have happened by now. Like he's not gonna be.
Like people are gonna start hating him.
Yeah, he's not gonna be it anymore. Like I mean,
well, I think because he has a lot of friends and he's a legend. Kanye West is a legend in rap, so people are gonna want to work with him.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many legends that like don't get that same, the same pass almost like
to be wild, like to say wild.
Well,
shit.
to have such great producers work with them. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good example over here of a legend who's not dead.
I think most legends that are currently making music can get whoever they want. Like if they want them to be on their shit, they can get them.
You think Run DMC if they can want to pull up a record?
If Run DMC wanted to make a new song or a new album or something, they could get anybody they wanted. Because they're just from a certain generation, from the 90s and early. Like 2000s,
I'm sure they can get Rick Rubin for sure.
Definitely. But he did all their shit.
Right.
But they could get Kanye West to produce their shit. They can get Dr. Dre. They can get the RZA to do something if the RZA wanted to. Like they can get probably Pharrell to do shit for them. They could get anybody.
That would be pretty interesting. If
Run DMC on a Pharrell beat.
Yeah. Most of these producers, honestly, because all these producers came. They're like far beyond.
Because Run DMC is like the godfathers of rap, so all these people who came after him respect them.
Okay, fine. Okay, well, maybe I can kind of understand it, but yeah, maybe I'm more surprised now that like I don't know, he's saying all this stuff and hanging out with all these people.
Well, because they're just his friend. And it's like if you have a crazy friend who says some crazy shit, you're just like, yeah, I don't agree with what he's doing or what he's saying, but. He's just crazy. That's just how he is. He doesn't mean it, kind of thing. I think that's how they do it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. I would prioritize myself maybe But like, if you have nothing else going on, yeah, I guess.
And also, it's Kanye.
It's Kanye.
I would work. I don't give a fuck. I want to work with Kanye. I don't care. I don't care if he I don't care if he votes for Donald Trump 8 million times. I want to work with him.
Even if you've already worked with him like 20 times before.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Like Pusha T.
Yeah, like Pusha T. Yeah, or like
Travis Scott. Whoever. Everybody who works with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kanye makes good music and they want to be on it.
No, the one person that I know is boycotting him right now is probably like Jay-Z. I know they're.
Is that because of the Trump shit though?
No, I think maybe it has to do with it, but like they've just.
But Jay-Z doesn't need Kanye.
No.
Jay-Z's bigger. I mean, Jay-Z put Kanye on. He's the one who got Kanye big.
I mean, I don't think Dr. Dre needs Kanye, but
but he wants to work with him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the thing. I mean, Jay-Z's also in a position where he's not really just a musician. He's like a businessman. So he's like, it doesn't make business sense, especially because his new image is kind of like socially conscious. Yeah. So he can't tarnish that image by being with Kanye anymore.
That's true. I think it's more personal than that. Once Kanye took his music off of Tidal, or like stopped releasing his music like exclusively on Tidal, I think that
Jay-Z doesn't seem to me like the kind of, he just seems more calculating. Like he seems like a ultimate businessman to me. Like I don't think he's
a business.
He's not a businessman. He's a businessman. That's one of his best lines ever made. I love that line. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
It's a legendary line. Yeah, it's pretty much what he.
But I think that's what like. I don't think he lets his emotions that much come in the way when it's a business deals. Like, I think he just saw that Kanye West isn't good for his image anymore. So he's like, yeah, I'll just separate myself.
I mean, he owns the Nets. Like, I don't know. He's like on another level at this point.
Yeah.
But.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
All right, we're going to move on. This next song that we're going to cover is from a new album that just dropped today, July 10th. It's from My Morning Jacket. You ever listen to My Morning Jacket?
Tiny bit, not much.
Yeah, I know about them for sure, but like I'm not terribly familiar with.
I like the guy's voice a lot.
Music.
I think he has a great voice.
Yeah.
But the music I never really got that much into. Like I've had a couple of songs that I liked, but I never really could listen to a whole album.
It's definitely like one of those like early Pitchfork kind of albums, you know, like back when like the Shins were popular and all that stuff. All right, but they came out with a new album and it's called The Waterfall 2. And we're going to pick out a song from that. They all got released today. There was no lead up singles or anything like that. But people were talking about Wasted, and listened through a couple songs and Wasted that actually kind of stand out. So we're gonna listen to that one. Wasted from My Morning Jacket's The Waterfall 2. All right, and we're back.
So that was Wasted by My Morning Jacket off their new album.
The Waterfall 2.
Okay.
But apparently it doesn't sound anything like the Waterfall 1. If like the title makes it seem like it's just kind of like leftovers from Waterfall 1, but
was Waterfall their last album?
I believe so, maybe.
Neither of us are big My Morning Jacket fans, so.
Yeah, I just know they have an album called Z, and
I think Z was the one that I listened to.
Yeah, but the Waterfall was released 5 years ago, the first one. So I think that was. Yeah, I believe that might have been their last album. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure on that,
but in terms of this song Wasted, I actually liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
There were a few songs that I could have picked out from this album. Some of them were definitely a lot more like calming and soothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that I kind of almost put in. It was more country-ish, like kind of like a pop country, not indie country. Maybe is the way.
It's like kind of what they were doing. Like that's kind of what they're known for.
Yeah. But
would they be like
to this song.
Would they be like alt country?
My Morning Jacket?
Like a little bit.
I think they probably have a little bit of that, but I don't know the discography well enough to like say for sure.
Yeah.
What they are. But this song in particular, I thought that you would like more than the other ones.
You were right, yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a heavier sound. It's got like a nice groove.
I love that. I love the groove and the guitar riff on there. It sounds like a classic rock song.
Yeah, it does. And like we just finished filming a video for Grunge, and it kind of has a little bit of that.
It has
vibe.
A little like I wouldn't be surprised if like Pearl Jam might do a song like this,
right?
Or even Soundgarden a little. They'd change it up more, but like Soundgarden, I could see doing a song like this.
Maybe. Right, it would still be like kind of like within their their cabinet of possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, but I really I like the song a lot. I love the first because it's kind of like in two parts. The first part is kind of like a slower classic rock sound with that like nice riff, and then like the vocals are just going wasted, like a kind of like a choir vocal.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It has like a big sound, and it sounds kind of like
Yeah, it does fill up the room.
Yeah.
Would I say it fills up the stadium? Is that you think it's a stadium kind of song? Or
I could see this song extending for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely the kind of song that you can like.
This is a jam session. This is,
yeah,
because like the whole time they're soloing, and so like yeah, they have that wasted part with the slow guitar riff, and then it goes into like this funkier section.
Yeah.
And like that's where they just get the solos out, the guitar solos.
Yeah, the solos are going.
I'm a sucker for a guitar solo. I grew up listening to classic rock and shit. like
I do like solos overall. Yeah,
I love, like that's the one thing I don't like about. I mean, I love indie rock too, but one thing I don't like about it is that like guitar solos in indie rock is kind of like
a faux pas kind of almost?
Like you don't hear guitar solos in indie rock.
Yeah,
and I'm just like. I like hearing a guitar solo. Like I like them. I like them all. I'd like 20-minute guitar solos. I don't like Built to Spill. Really, is one of the only ones that'll do guitar solos and shit. I mean, that's what they do.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. Nowadays, you don't get people like being instrumental virtuosos the same way they used to back in like the 70s and 80s, or even in the jazz era. You know, I guess even today, you can't play jazz.
Even the 90s, like doing the grunge episode, like.
Yeah,
all of them soloed. They all had solos.
I mean, Pearl Jam definitely soloed. Alice in Chains definitely soloed.
Even Nirvana, which was the most tied to like indie rock.
Yeah. Well, Nirvana solos were kind of funny. They were like in their own category for sure.
They basically just did the melody but on guitar most of the time. But
it was like solos, maybe like more akin to like David Gilmour solos, and that like maybe not like.
David Gilmour solos are amazing. What are you talking about?
No, they are, but like David Gilmour does a lot with like
a little. Yeah.
And I feel like Kurt
he'll
Cobain
hold a note for 20 minutes.
Right. And he'll make it sound like the guitar's
Santana
wailing.
too.
Or Santana will do that. Though Santana will also like get like he'll like start going up and down every now and then.
But yeah, we got too far off on guitar solos. But this definitely gave me that like 70s classic rock vibe.
Yeah. That song definitely did, yeah. And there was a horn in there. I couldn't figure out.
Yeah, there was like a horn section in it. It was kind of faint though.
Yeah, it was just there.
It was more subtle.
Yeah. It was more of an element, not really a focus. Yeah, but I thought it was a good song.
But yeah, I really liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it's not like reinventing the wheel or anything. But if you're in the mood for like classic rock sounds, if you're a My Morning Jacket fan,
yeah, if you're wondering, is this an album that's actually worth checking out? At least from that taste, it seems like it is. No.
The only thing it's like I wish there wasn't a lot of singing on it. It was mostly like a jam.
Well, this one didn't. Yeah. I think the other songs I think have more singing, but
yeah, I like that overall.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. This one, Lucy over here has been.
James Blake. I love James Blake. He's one of my favorite current artists, especially his last album, Assume Form. I love that album. It really like. I don't know. I'm biased for that one because it kind of struck a chord with me, like emotionally. Like a lot of the emotions on that album and stuff like that. It really like I don't know. It hit me. But you're not really a fan of James Blake.
I've never gotten into him. I'm not writing him off, but I've tried a couple of times, but I don't know if I've never been in the mood for it or like I can't get my mind to like fully get in touch with it. But I'm not opposed to checking this one out.
But also, I think James Blake's progression has been interesting because, like, his career, he's been, like, the ultimate sad boy. Like, he's always, like, writing sad shit and, like, his music's super sad. But his last album, it's, like, James Blake making, like, it's the happiest he's ever been. It's still, like, very sad and shit, but it's, like, he found love, basically. Like, I don't know if he's married. He's either married or dating this actress from The Good Place, the Indian woman. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, they're like, in love and stuff, and he's like making like happy songs recently and like love songs.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, it's interesting. But I also think this is like some of his recently. I don't know. He's been making great stuff. I love it.
It's been good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
This song is called Are You Even Real? Are You Even Real, James Blake? And yeah, we're gonna check it out real quick. Get back to you. All right, and we're back. We just finished listening to James Blake. Are you even real?
So I want to hear your opinion first because I know you don't like James Blake.
Yeah, I don't usually listen to him. I was kind of focusing on his vocals for a little bit there, and they kind of remind me of like a more like gospel oriented R&B singer.
Yeah, he has
Thinking,
a lot of those influences.
I don't know why the name like Anthony Hamilton came to mind. That's one of them, but maybe even like a more subdued John Legend, like an old school John Legend.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound quite as soulful, like filled up. It just has like that. Yeah, I guess like you said, like that kind of like that sad boy quality. But
Yeah, it's like a sad white boy doing like gospel R&B stuff.
yeah.
And I also actually from this song too, I kind of at points his delivery kind of sounded like kind of rap influence, like you know like melodic hip hop shit that's happening now.
Yeah,
kind
like,
of sounded like that kind of delivery to me a lot of the time, like
I can see that. Yeah, like a little bit of like the Drake kind of like
a Drake
or...
thing, or even like a little Uzi Vert kind of delivery, something like where they're kind of like half singing, half rapping kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get that. No, I didn't think the song was bad.
I loved it. I love everything about this. I love the sound of it. I mean, it kind of has that classic, well, not classic, that James Blake sound that he's doing recently, where I think he's been mixing a lot more pop and like hip hop influences into his songs recently than like his earlier stuff. I don't know how much of his earlier stuff you listen to.
Not too much, no.
But it was a lot more like kind of experimental and kind of out there. Where I think his more recent stuff, he's been putting more like pop structure onto it, or even like more hip hop stuff into it, and it makes it a lot more approachable.
Okay.
But this one, yeah, and how do you not love it when the violins come in and it just, I don't know, it hits me. It just like,
no, I mean I think it's nice. I think it's nice, but like
it just doesn't get
I don't know.
you.
It doesn't get me. It doesn't get me. I mean, like, yeah, there's not too much energy behind it. So there's that because I tend to like more
upbeat
stuff.
It kind of sounds like a wallowing kind of.
Yeah, there's not even like too much grit at all in the voice. Actually, there's
I love James Blake's voice though. I don't know. I love it's just kind of like soft and airy to a point. I don't know. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean I can see instances where I would maybe enjoy this kind of music, but like I don't know. To me, it just kind of sounds like a song that just kind of floats.
Yeah,
and I'm like that's nice.
Well, music like that can be like boring or like not leave an impact because it kind of just floats. It's kind of like a vibe. But I feel like James Blake will take music like that, but make it more interesting because he puts a lot more interesting elements in it.
There's a lot more subtleties to it.
Yeah.
It's not just like a throwaway pop single. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit more depth, but it is much more subtle than.
And it's not really the sound that you like. Like
no. At the end of the day, no, at least not right now or not yet or something like that. Like maybe there's a point when I can get around to it.
Yeah.
Or like when I be in a situation when I feel more likely to enjoy this kind of music.
And that's actually applies to our next artist that we're going to talk about, for me at least. I mean, unless you have something else you want to say about James Blake before we close.
No, we can.
I love the song. You're not too into it.
Yeah, no, it's not too many thoughts about it.
Yeah. It seems like he also recently released a single not a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago at this point, You're Too Precious. And it seems like he might be he might be leading up to a new album, which I really hope so, because I've been loving his shit that he's been putting out. I loved his last album, so I can't wait.
It is very heartfelt. I'll give him that. Yeah.
I mean, look, that shit. When you get, I don't know, it just hits me.
Okay.
It does it for me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like you said like maybe at some point you'll appreciate it or learn to like it. That actually happened to me with this next band we're gonna talk about, 100 Gecs.
100 Gecs. Actually, he's been wanting me to listen to this band, so it's gonna be exciting.
100 Gecs is a band that the first time I listened to them, I hated them. I thought they sounded super annoying and like sounded like 4chan music or something, or just like internet music. But they kind of have qualities of like that PC music thing a little bit,
right.
That like hyper pop stuff like that. But it's a lot more chaotic and like all over the place, kind of like ADD type stuff that they do.
And we'll do a more in-depth coverage of PC music at some point in the future.
I'd love to do a PC music thing.
But PC music is something that at first it kind of, you don't really know exactly how to feel about it because it
takes, at least for me, it takes sounds that I hate, like early mid 2000s pop sounds.
It takes a lot of the Max Martin kind of production styles,
like things that I hate, but a lot of times they do stuff with what I like. So it took a while for me to come around to it, but I'm starting to like that kind of sound more. So I'm actually, bands like this, like 100 Gecs, people like Charlie XCX and Sophie,
Caro
Bonito. I'm like, they're actually like really exciting to me, and I like a lot of the stuff they're putting out, which is surprising because I didn't think I would like them.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of the more exciting things that have happened in the past few years. I think. At least from my point of view. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna give a listen to it. 100 Gecs. So, I haven't listened to it yet.
But myself. This is also good to something we need to note. This album is actually a remix album of their first album. So their first album was 1000 Gecs. Mm-hmm. I think it was released like last year or 2 years ago. So they just released a remix album called 1000 Gecs and the Tree of something. Yeah. Whatever. So it's just, they remix their own songs, put other people on it. So like this song, we're going to listen to Ringtone. It's a remix of their original song, Ringtone. But they have Charlie XCX on it.
Caro Bonito.
And Rico Nasty.
Rico Nasty.
So let's give it a listen.
Okay. 100 Gecs. All right, and we're back. We just listened to 100 Gecs featuring Charlie XCX, Caro Bonito, Rico Nasty. The remix to Ringtone.
Okay, I absolutely love that song.
I love that song.
I love that song.
First time I listened to it, and I already know this is great.
Yeah, I've actually listened, because this song, we kind of cheated. It's new music. The album came out just recently. I think it was even today. I'm not sure. Yeah. And but this song actually came out months ago.
Remix, right?
Yeah, it's a remix. Yeah. But I love this song since the first time I heard it. I heard it like when it first came out around there. Yeah. And I fell in love with it instantly. This song is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's like on the same order of like Caro's Flamingo. Yeah. For instance, it just jams. And I mean the addition of having Caro on there, but also Charlie.
Charlie fits perfectly on this song. Yeah. It's like, honestly, it sounds like it's made for her. Yeah. Like, she sings the hook and stuff. She has the first verse.
My boy's got his own ringtone.
It's so infectious. Like, it's perfect. Yeah. And it even has, like, I love it because the different elements, and it has, like, a pop punk influence when, like, Rico Nasty comes in with the guitars and stuff. And then, like, and then after Rico Nasty's verse, it like everything's drops out except for a bass, and then the what's her name from Caro Bonito starts singing. I don't know. I love everything about this song.
There's a lot of great parts. I actually really like the ending as well. Yeah. There's like this weird what is that sound, like that percussion sound that comes in at the end?
It's like some weird like distorted.
It's like a distorted, like somebody's banging a garbage can.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Or like a steel drum of some sort. But then also there's like a lot of like distortion on top of like the bass sound. Yeah. As well.
And I think this is like sounds like a perfect like 2020 pop song. Like this sounds like futuristic. It sounds like right now. It sounds.
Yeah. No. It sounds. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's taking that late '90s pop sound, but while at the same time making it even more artificial. Mm-hmm. It also sounds more genuine, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like Because like I think one of the things that like late '90s pop felt so odd about it is that it seemed so like artificially produced. Like I don't know, like
Yeah.
it had a bunch of writers, it had a bunch of producers, the people who actually sang and danced to the songs. They had like they had this whole dance routine that was choreographed, and like they just found these boys and these girls like to sing.
Yeah, I mean
like,
that was
who knows where.
that was like the era of boy bands
Yeah,
and girl groups and stuff.
yeah, but it just seems so.
Artificial.
Yeah, it seemed like I don't know, like here's with music in the same way that like Pepsi is like a soda,
and like they were making music that they wanted, that they knew the masses would like and stuff. Like whereas these people are taking those sounds like from the late '90s, early 2000s kind of pop sound because they just like them and they're doing what they want to do with them.
Yeah, and like these songs are not like it's not like they're consumer tested for like optimal performance.
Yeah.
Like these are literally like I bet you these same people wrote these same lines. Like and so like it definitely sounds like it's coming from them. It's like a true expression, even if it's not like a super deep song or anything like that.
And this song is actually, I think, kind of a perfect encapsulation of what I think pop is, what the future of pop is. Like people like 100 Gecs, Charlie XCX, Caro Bonito. It's gonna sound like the next decade. The 2020s, I think, is going to sound like this.
I think so too. I mean, this PC music sound came out of practically nowhere in 2015, and I remember when it came out, it was really exciting because like it didn't sound like anything. I mean, at the time, what was popular, like the whole like the whole like whisper with like reverb laden, like cloudy.
Yeah, and that's like starting to go away now. But like 2010s, at least the mid to late 2010s was like dominated by that like airy whisper singing, slow, like sad.
I mean
it's
definitely been starting to go away. But especially with Charlie XCX coming out and adopting this sound, she already has some popularity to begin with. So like her adopting the sound definitely gave it more of a platform. But I mean these other artists as well, they're not. I mean, would you say Caro Bonito is unknown or like?
They have a cult following. They're like kind of big in the indie world. They're not like famous. I think Charlie XCX is the one that's like starting to get some mainstream appeal and stuff like.
But even like people like Grimes are also influenced.
Grimes
by
also
stuff. So like this sound is definitely like breaking the seams, and I'm just waiting to see like who. Like once you see somebody like maybe like either like Britney Spears or Madonna or one of these like more
the
like
equivalent, not the
but like somebody who's more has been like a
mainstream staple, like a Taylor Swift or something.
Like Taylor Swift would be probably like an ideal person.
Who's that person that just made a thing? What's her name? Dua Lipa or something?
Yeah, I'm just surprised that somebody
Ariana
like
Grande.
I'm surprised. We were talking about it before. I'm surprised that what's her face? Call Me Maybe. Carly Rae Jepsen.
She's on an '80s thing.
Yeah, she's flirted with the sound, but I just don't understand why she hasn't.
She was on one of the PC music.
Yeah, she was on one of the PC music pretty early on, and I don't know if it's just she didn't jam with the sound itself, but like, if I was her, I would have gotten on that sound. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna fault her. She just doesn't like the sound.
Sure.
And like, it's not her thing.
Maybe she has her own vision going on.
But I could see her definitely doing like a PC music thing.
Right. All right. But the great song, check it out, 100 Gecs.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, this next one that we're gonna check out is from Kid Cudi. That's not really an exciting thing by itself.
Kid Cudi and Eminem.
But this one has Eminem, and everybody's like,
You can't say it's not an exciting thing. Kid Cudi releases music all the time. I don't know. No, he doesn't. What are you talking about?
At least it feels, from my perspective, it feels.
What's your opinion on Kid Cudi? Let's get this out of the way.
Kid Cudi, he has some good stuff. I mean, he definitely does have some good stuff. But
I think
sometimes he doesn't.
I think I like Kid Cudi more in theory than in practice.
I can see that, yeah.
Like I haven't really liked a lot of his work. Like
did you like the Kids See Ghosts?
I like Kids See Ghosts a lot.
Yeah.
But that was him and Kanye. Yeah. Like if it's him over only Kanye production, I'd love it. If that's the only thing he did.
There was one album that he released before that one. He has some. I like the songs that he had with Pharrell producing, for instance. Mm-hmm. I forget any of those songs, but Surfboard I think is something like that. I don't know. There was one song that I really liked from there, but then he often, I like the fact that he maybe like goes like and experiments on stuff, even if sometimes it turns out really bad, like Speeding Bullet to Heaven. that album.
That's the thing. I'm always
hilarious.
gonna respect people who try different things. Even if it's a colossal failure. Like I'd rather you fail because you tried something different than fail just because you're trying to make the same safe thing over and over again.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
And at the very end of the day, I mean, he still had those first few albums of his were pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe like they'll vary and like, but like it's still he can always rest on those at the very least. Yeah, Man on the Moon, etc.
So yeah,
we'll listen to this
what's
one.
it called?
It's called The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim Shady, and it's featuring. Oh, it just says featuring Eminem.
So yeah, it's a Kid Cudi song featuring Eminem.
Yep. Okay, we're back. We just finished listening to Kid Cudi's new song with Eminem. It was really, Eminem has this habit of basically taking songs that he's featured in and then making it his songs. I don't know if you felt that way about this song.
I kind of felt like that. Well, first of all, I thought both of them sounded really good on this song.
Yeah,
and and both of them kind of have not making the best stuff recently. I mean, Kid Cudi made Kid See Ghost recently, which is good, but like
they both like have like their best days have been passed by, basically.
Yeah, but I thought both of them actually like did really good on this song.
Yeah, no, they did. I thought the rhyming and like the lines and all that I thought were real great over here. There were a few moments where I had to like go like, oh.
Mostly with Eminem. He actually had some really good bars in here. What was the one with a toll-free number is the only way that you'll have a hotline?
Exactly. And like a lot of his lines were like, I mean, he always does, but like he like stay very relevant. He has a lot of like lines coronavirus related, but not necessarily about coronavirus. I mean, sometimes a little bit, but like.
And he had the thing at the end for George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah. He's talking about how many cops are like how many of these cops are dirty.
So he's staying relevant, and I don't know. I thought it was a good song.
I'm not crazy about the production of it.
The production just seemed pretty standard to me. It wasn't bad, but it just kind of felt to me like like they were in the studio and they're like, oh, let's make a song together, and they're like, what's the least bad beat that we have? This one, okay, throw it on there. Like I'll rap on that beat. It's
not a bad beat.
It's not bad. It's
like, definitely a song that like you want to like you only listen to the song because you want to hear them.
Because there's also no hook on it either. So
no, there's not even a hook.
It's just them. It's like Kid Cudi has a verse and then Eminem has a verse, and both of them did really well. And like Cudi, I was like worried about because he's not always the best rapper.
Yeah.
But he actually like did really good.
Yeah, he held his own on here. Yeah.
Yeah, and he released another song not too long ago, where he was also rapping really well. The only thing I was missing, I wanted him to start humming. He didn't hum. Oh. I missed the humming. Yeah. How are you not gonna hum on the song?
But yeah, I think it's funny that like I don't know, call themselves the Moon Man and Slim Shady. But
well, that's their thing.
Yeah, those are their.
But I'm actually excited to see what Kid Cudi does next because recently, like I mean, basically since Kid See Ghosts, because I love that one, and then like the songs that he's released since then have been pretty good. So I'm excited to see if he releases a new album.
I mean, I think ever since he dropped Speeding Bullet, I think he's only been going up since then.
Yeah.
So let's see how high he can go. I'm sure it's more of a roller coaster when you look closely into it, but like, he's been putting out some pretty good stuff recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like I don't know, maybe he does better when he like works with people. If that makes sense.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, but overall good track. Okay, this next one I picked up is from I find out about these things from like r/indie head, and this one was one that they seem very kind of excited for. It's from the Beths. Have you ever heard of the Beths?
No.
This is from like apparently this is his second album, and I kind of looked through and listened. A lot of the songs I thought were a little bit too low key and down tempo.
Yeah.
At least compared to like what the leading singles seem to be. But I picked out a song over here that I thought had a little bit more of something interesting going on. So we're gonna listen to him.
So yeah, just to be clear, this isn't a single; it's a song from the album. What's the album called?
The album is called Jump Rope Gazers, and it just dropped today, actually, July 10th. There's been I think 2 or 3 singles leading up to this album, and those were pretty good. But I thought from like the album cuts, I thought this one was a good one to pick out. This one's called "Don't Go Away" by the Beths. All right, what do you think about that song?
I really liked it a lot. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was a fun song. Yeah,
It's got like a '90s sound to it.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like Nirvana a bit in parts. At least
A little
like the guitar on it has like a Nirvana, like a Nevermind tone to it.
yeah.
But
To me, it sounded like a Blue Album Weezer.
yeah, that's probably more accurate actually.
Yeah, but with like lady vocals though.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
90s
Yeah.
alternative rock.
Yeah, exactly,
Either
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
And,
and there's been a whole like a whole movement of like more 90s.
And I actually, yeah,
alternative.
like this also reminded me a lot. Do you listen to Soccer Mommy at all?
Yeah, I love listening to some Soccer Mommy. Yeah,
So this, like, she sounds similar to her, and they have like kind of like a similar aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like that 90s.
yeah. It's like there's like a whole slew of like this kind of sound. Maybe even some Corny Burnett. Maybe like as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, Soccer Mommy I think would be a good one to point out. Hop Along maybe. I don't know if Hop Along has a slightly different sound.
They have a slightly different sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. It kind of has like a beachy vibe, kind of like
Yeah.
it.
It has a slightly beachy vibe, yeah. I don't know. To me, like I couldn't get like that whole like Rivers Cuomo in the garage kind of sound. But I mean, he also likes to go.
He has like
He-
five
yeah,
songs on
he-
that first album about surfing. What do
Yeah,
you mean?
he does. He does like to go surfing as well. So,
Yeah.
you know. And these guys probably like to go surfing too. They're from New Zealand, from Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand's got Australia, New Zealand around there. There's a lot of rock bands.
Yeah, there's been a whole slew of. I mean, we're not even gonna get into like how many rock bands there, but like, yeah, it feels like every decade there's always like a country that stands out. Like in the 2000s, Canada seemed to have like a lot of standout bands, and but lately it's been a lot of bands from
Australia.
down under. Yeah, and
Specifically for rock.
yeah,
And I'd like to see what an Australian rapper would sound like.
I don't know how many black people are down there.
Rap isn't just black people.
No, but like I feel like it's there's a correlation. The more black people there are,
This is getting cut out.
it's not like when they invented the genre. Like
they did, but I'm just saying you don't need. Okay, whatever.
yeah, not every white person can be Eminem. Like I'm sure they have some rappers,
That's
but like
look. I'm sure it's not good.
I'm not
but
I'm not
saying
getting
they gotta
excited
hit-
over it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, but
But it's really I like it. It's really fun. I prefer it if this became the trend in indie music rather than like the 2010s like Mac DeMarco sound. You know
yeah,
how my
I feel like you're too stuck on that because that sound. I feel like it's already old.
Yeah, I know, but it was the thing back then.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not the thing anymore, and I'm happy.
No, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. I'm happy
Yeah.
about
It's
that.
moving away from that direction for a while, and yeah, this has been a lot more prominent. I mean, I have my own radio show here in Boston, WMBR 88.1 FM, and yeah, me as well as like a few other DJs I think have been making more of a push to bring out these sounds. When I first started in 2015. The other kind of sound, the more reverb laden, like dreamy girl kind of sound was more popular. But that's definitely been changing. I really like the breakdown at the end. I thought it was I thought that was like my favorite part. Because otherwise it would have been just like, yeah, that's a nice song, but like at the end it kind of solidified, I don't know, something different that was going on.
Yeah. And it actually, I really like that song a lot, but you're saying the rest of the album doesn't really sound like that.
Some songs do. Like the lead singles for this album sound more like this, but there's a couple of ballads throughout the album. It's definitely got more of a diverse set of sounds. But this song I think sounds more like the energetic singles, and also like from what I've read from the comments, it seems like their first album was overall more like this kind of sound.
Okay, I should check them out then because I like the sound.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. New Zealand bringing us some good rock and roll.
Okay, what's next?
All right, next is a band that's not terribly far off. This is Haim.
Yeah,
Haim is
Haim.
where are they from again?
I'm pretty sure they're from L.A.,
Okay.
California.
Yeah,
But
Haim-
yeah, they were, three sisters from tentatively from California. Broke big in 2012 with their first album, Days Are Gone.
Mhm.
They had a few big singles. I think the biggest single from that was The Wire. So they kind of, they kind of had a kind of like 70s rock sound, but like with like pop rock sound basically, kind of like soft rock, pop rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I liked their first album a lot. I really, when that came out, was it
that like-
2012 or 2013?
Yeah, I think it was 2013. Yes. Yeah, 2013.
I listened to that album a lot when it came out. I really liked the sound that they had.
Yeah, they were like kind of the beginnings of like pushing away the other sound. I mean, even though I feel like that album did have some reverb on it. Like,
Yeah, I mean it had some, but it was more energetic, definitely more pop oriented. It sounded really good. Their second album I wasn't huge on.
yeah.
Didn't listen to it much. But their newest album just came out recently, a few weeks ago. Women in Music 3. Part 3.
Yeah.
And it's produced by Rostam, whatever his last name is.
Oh, the guy from Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think his
Not
production...
not as for the other guy, Rostam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his production really shines through on this album. You can tell, like, there's a lot of interesting sounds that's going on.
I'm kind of excited. I really like his production. He's
He's produced a few things that, like, I love his production. I think he always does a good job.
He was the one who put in that like Bach-like what's the word, baroque
Baroque pop.
yeah,
or-
the baroque pop thing where like he
What instrument is that?
that's like
Like a harpsichord?
I think it was a harpsichord. I forget right now what instrument it was in
Yeah.
that song. That was from like their first album, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm excited. Okay, listen to it. This is the song "The Steps."
Yeah, the song from their album. The
That's
Steps.
mine. All right, that was Haim. Is that how you pronounce it?
Haim. I mean,
It's
like
Haim.
like Lahaim, like the
Haim. Yeah. With the song "The Steps" from their latest release, "Woman in Music," Part 3. How do you do your 3? Like that?
It's not good. I mean, it's probably better to do it like that.
Well, I mean, it's just like I know some people do it like that.
Yeah, that's how I do it. But
Um,
this it's easier to do it like that.
there's some people who use the thumb. I mean that's the easiest way I think to do it, but like
I think this is
think it's a
slightly
little
easier
confusing.
actually.
yeah,
It's just kind of like
maybe.
counterintuitive.
Yeah, but it also looks like I don't know, like I'm challenging to something. But yeah,
What do you think
was,
of the song?
the song? I like the song.
I love it.
Yeah, I really do like the production. I did notice a few of like those Rostam qualities. At some point in the vocals, kind of like got a little bit of that like weird like distortion element.
Like there was like a breakdown bridge part where like
Yeah.
it was like some glitchy part.
Yeah, it was like a glitchy 3 minute the vocals and the production,
Which is interesting.
I do miss his production in the Vampire Weekend.
Did you listen to Vampire Weekend's newest thing? Because I didn't listen to it.
Well, newest
newest
like what,
album?
like last year's album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. listen to
Rostam
it.
wasn't on that one. I
No,
don't-
he was featured in a couple of songs, but like overall, I think like is Ezra, right? Is his name?
That's the main guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one that brings more of like that Paul Simon quality to the music, and it definitely felt more like a Paul Simon album, more so than like his previous releases. It just seemed a lot more like it's me and my guitar, and like here
Yeah.
I also have this girl that's singing with me, and like maybe there's a few other elements that they add on, but it seems a lot more like stripped down. Like I really like his production over here in this song. It's full. It's got like
And
it's got all these different elements that like, and they all
it
look
has
very
that
nice together.
vintage quality to it.
Yeah,
like
it
it
does,
sounds like it was recorded in the 70s. Honestly.
Actually, what it reminds me of Sheryl Crow. Well, Sheryl Crow also seems to have like a little bit of that 70s vibe going on with her, but yeah, I couldn't shake it off. That like, I mean, I really like Sheryl Crow, so that's not a that's not
Your
an insult,
music
it's more of
taste
a
always
compliment.
the sound to me.
I like how like Sheryl Crow always seems like very honest, but also very laid back, and like
I mean, I might like I can't name a Sheryl Crow song, so I don't know. I might love her and not know
there's
it.
like if it makes you happy, you know that song. No, okay.
You got to show me some after this.
Some Sheryl Crow. Okay, whatever, sure. I'm sure you know some of
If
the
it
songs.
sounds like
already.
Haim, I love Haim, so
Yeah. Maybe you like her. I don't know. I like Sheryl Crow. So
okay. But yeah, I love this. I think Haim's back.
Haim's
Rostam
back, baby.
and the rest of the album is also pretty great. I'm hoping that that Rostam does like production on a lot of their albums going forward because I think it's a
I
great
just hope he
pairing.
like stays like I hope he's on demand. Really, I hope more people get him to like produce.
Oh
albums.
yeah,
Especially like indie pop. I think he has fantastic indie pop
does.
production. Yeah, good song, good song. From Haim. All right. This one I picked up. Recently I did a Breakfast of Champions episode. Most people won't know what that means, but here in Boston, Breakfast of Champions is kind of like a staple episode, a staple show, in the mornings, and
WMBR
at
88.1.
and yeah, no, it's kind of a big deal whenever I do them because I don't do them very often, and it's a pretty big show. I don't know, at least here in this city. But I picked out a bunch of new music from bands that are not super popular. These guys are called Pottery, and they were one of the ones that like came out with very recent new music. They are from the UK. I think I usually play a lot of UK bands on that show, and this is from their latest release, "Welcome to Bobby's Motel," and this is the opener, the self-titled opener to that album. All right. So that was the introduction to Welcome to Bobby's Motel, and
What's the song called?
Welcome to Bobby's Motel.
Okay.
It is the opener, and very much an opener kind of a song.
I love that.
That was great. Yeah.
I love that so much. It kind of feels a little bit like Ariel Pink, but doing kind of like stoner psych rock type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the beginning where the guy's like saying "Welcome to Bobby's Motel,"
Welcome to
and
Bobby's
that sounds like
Motel.
something Ariel Pink would do.
Yeah. It has some of that quality. It has a little bit of it reminds me a little bit of like King Gizzard,
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
and yeah, I'm sure we can name a few other people as well. But yeah, it's part of like that whole like like what you said, like
Like psych rock, yeah.
But it's rocking. Like it's like those drums at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one definitely like seems as in terms of opener, it's up there with like I don't know like kind of reminded me of like the Magical Mystery Tour.
I was
You were thinking the same thing?
We're on the same wavelength. I had all this. I was thinking the exact same thing. All the same things you were saying. Like I was thinking Beatles, Magical Mystery Tour, Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah, it just seems like
Yeah.
such a clearly defined like we're gonna take
They
you.
say
on
welcome
this
to
ride.
Bobby's Motel.
Welcome to Bobby's Motel.
Welcome to the Magical Mystery Tour. You know.
Yeah, and even though it's short, it's 2 minutes, but it changes up even throughout the song.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, like from the few songs I've listened to from this album, it does sound like a very fun album.
Yeah, I gotta listen to this because I really love that. I love that intro.
Yeah, that was like, there's at least on this show, I've been doing that show on and off for 5 years, and there's been a few bands that like I discover and I play, and there's some bands that I keep up with every single time, and this is one of those bands that like I've already played a couple times before. They came from a much, I think from what I remember, a lot more post-punk influence when I first listened to them. This one definitely seems a lot more leaning towards like the psych rock. And I mean, even just check out like, hey, we're not gonna, maybe you can put in the album cover or whatever, but like you look at that album cover. That looks like a fun album cover. I don't know. It's the guy's like smiling and doing like, yeah, I don't know. It definitely seems like from listening to this, like the few songs that I've listened to from this album, that they enjoy themselves and that carries through in the music.
There's a lot more great songs this time than last time. I think.
Yeah.
Like I've loved almost every song we've played.
Yeah, this has been a very feel good kind of like. Let's hope that like he didn't jinx it with like these last two songs.
Well, I don't think you're gonna like this next one, but
we'll see. Well, what's this next song that we got over here?
So next up, we got "Standing on the Corner." They just released on. I don't know if it's like a single with multiple songs or like an EP, but it's called Get Out the Ghetto. And it's like a 3-song single / EP. So Standing on the Corner is a New York collective. They're part of this like underground New York hip hop scene that's going on right now.
Okay.
Where it's more like avant-garde experimental stuff that's going on. Kind of like jazz rap, but taking like weirder samples and manipulating them in kind of like weirder ways.
Okay.
And for the rappers at least, the lyrics are a lot more like personal and like kind of about their struggle and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Earl Sweatshirt has taken this sound recently with some rap songs. That album was super influenced by this scene, and Standing on the Corner is actually helped produce some of those songs on that album.
So how big is the scene? Like, is this like just a few people?
It's super. Like... Well, there's a lot of people in it, but they're all like underground. The biggest one, I guess, would be Earl Sweatshirt, who's kind of like involved himself in that scene pretty heavily. But there's also people like Mike, Med Hain, Navy Blue, Pink Sifu. I don't know if you've heard of any of these people.
No, not really. No. Well, I mean, would you compare this kind of like to like the New York like Flower Child scene that was going on in the late 80s?
I don't even know what Flower Child scene.
Well, like I mean, it started off kind of more Flower Childish, but like
oh, you mean the rap scene?
The rap scene.
Yeah, like De La Soul.
Like De La Soul and
Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, like those guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but more maybe like a little darker and a little like sadder.
Okay.
But it kind of has that feel to it.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna listen to this one.
But just to be clear, I'm sorry. Standing on the Corner isn't a rap group. It's more like akin to like a jazz group or something, and they kind of do like plunderphonics, and kind of like a lot of sample based.
Got it.
But so yeah, there's not a rapper on this. Just sorry.
There's no rapper on it, but would you consider it kind of hip hop? Like
yeah, it's definitely hip hop
like
influence. It's kind of like it's
like the Avalanches or like the.
It's kind of hard to define. It's kind of like avant-garde jazz kind of stuff, but like hip hop influenced.
Got it.
And the sound of this is like kind of the sound of a lot of those people, like what a lot of them take for their production, like kind of sounds like this.
Got it. Okay. All right, we're gonna listen to this song called "Get Out the Ghetto,"
Part 1.
All right, that was Standing in the Corner. Hope you guys have been following along. We have a playlist actually that we attached to actually every one of these episodes.
Every video. So when we do like our Rage Against the Machine videos or our Ariel Pink videos, we have playlists for every video, so you could listen to along with us.
Yeah, and over here, this song was called "Get Out the Ghetto" Part 1.
I really want to know what your opinion on this song is, because I don't expect you to like it.
Actually, no, surprisingly, I did like it. I think the execution could be a little bit better. Like there's like you said, there's a lot of samples put together. There's like a driving beat in the background, and I thought the groove itself was pretty good. And I liked how I like the creative the production is in terms of like the sampling that they use.
Yeah.
The only thing that maybe I don't like quite as much is like maybe like the particular timbre or like
the tone of
of like some of it.
Because there's like this driving. It's kind of a fun song too, because it's like fast paced, heavy drums, and this like quirky piano synthesizer organ thing going on when it pops up. But I actually love it, like that part. Like I like the quirkiness of it. I like the fun upbeatness of it, which like this is the first Standing on the Corner song I think, right, that you've heard.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of this. Yeah.
So like a lot of this stuff can be more like down and moody. This is this isn't the only time they've done something like this, but it's more common that they do like the moodier stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's nice I like to hear that, more upbeat tone and stuff. And also, like you said, like you mentioned the execution, I think, but like the sloppiness is kind of like a part of it. It's kind of like part of that aesthetic, that like rough, sloppy finish, like kind of like DIY lo-fi-ish.
Like kind of like how Tyler, the creator, has like his own
like how you hate Igor because it's.
I don't hate Igor. But yeah, I mean, like I I get it that that's like okay, maybe that's like a feature, not a
Yeah, it's part of the
not.
aesthetic, and like I would get it if somebody didn't like it. Like it's not
Yeah.
for everybody.
No, but I
But
think it's interesting. I think it's exciting that they're continuing to be new production styles, um, and I mean maybe this song by itself as a standalone, I'm like okay, like cool. It does feel like it could be improved, like by having like
yeah,
something on top, um, whether it's a rapper or like a singer.
yeah,
It's not a strictly hip hop beat,
no,
and I think it is a little bit more versatile in terms of how it could be used. Um, but yeah, no, I think it's exciting and thinking like, but it is very like maybe not quite level one, but like level two maybe I would say in terms of like I
of
don't know,
what?
in terms of like this sound itself, like how far it can be carried. Um, like
Like
it's
it's just starting out. Like
yeah, like I think it has this. I think the sound has a lot of potential, but it's already. I think it's already executed at a level where like it's still enjoyable at this point.
yeah.
Like is yeah. It's not like some. It doesn't feel as underground as maybe like it sounds. Like it doesn't sound as underground as maybe like as you made it out to be. Like
Well, I'm just saying it's underground because people.
it is
Listen to
underground in the
this.
sense of like it's not well known, but like
Yeah.
it's not underground in the sense of like somebody put it together with like a tape deck or like you know
Yeah, yeah.
some
It's not like
not.
the super lo-fi, like they're making it like on a cassette recorder or whatever.
Right,
But you know,
right.
it has that aesthetic to it. It has that kind of feel
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. All right, cool. So that was standing on the corner. If you want to challenge yourself to some new sounds, not even that challenging, I would say.
It's
But
one of the
like,
weirder songs that we've listened to
yeah,
on this episode.
yeah. All right, we got one more song to go before wrapping up this up. This is just a song that we kind of came across also on the new music. Um, every Friday is a new music flurry of what's going on. This is a single from the Lemon Twigs, and I actually didn't even see where it was from. The song is called "Live in Favor of Tomorrow," and it was just kind of getting a little bit of noise in the interwebs. And we both seem to like it when we kind of listen to it. But they seem to be American as far as I can tell. But oh, they're on 480.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about the Lemon Twigs. I've heard their name before. I just haven't really listened to any other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a lot of these lemon bands mixed up with each other, so you know. But here we go. Live in Favor of Tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we just listened to the Lemon Twigs with their new song, "Live in Favor of Tomorrow."
So that sounded like a lost single from like the 70s.
Yeah,
Like from like some rock pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Originally when we first kind of heard a song, I got the impression that it was kind of like an '80s indie pop. But like now that I'm re-listening to it, is like this is very much in that power pop vein of like the Beatles, Badfinger, Big Star,
Yeah.
Nick Lowe, even like the '90s people like Matthew Sweet. There's just like this tradition of power pop that like it always kind of like ebbs and flows.
hmm
But
But this sounds specifically like that early power pop. Like
yeah, yeah, there's a lot of like harmonization in there.
yeah,
Um, that sounds like yeah, it sounds like a bit like those California bands. The Laurel Canyon type of people like Crosby, Stills and Nash, but like
yeah.
um
And the thing is, like, I like the sound. It was fun. It just didn't really do anything new.
yeah,
It didn't really bring anything different to that style. It just
right.
kind of sounded like it was written in the 70s.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
sounded
It sounds like a lost single from the '70s, maybe even the '90s, because like the production is a little bit slightly updated. It doesn't quite sound like a '70s production, but yeah, I get exactly what you mean. It
like it doesn't do anything with
right, right. It sounds like the perfect song for when you need something like this.
yeah.
Like let's say like you're doing a movie and like you need a power pop song.
And you don't want to pay one of the 70s bands.
Yeah. If you just want to have like band X like perform in the middle of the album or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean the production. I don't know. Everything seems tight about the execution. It just
it was executed very well, and it's good songwriting. It's just for me, it's like
it's just maybe lacking in creativity.
Yeah.
If anything, or maybe a suggestion, because it seems to be like a kind of a more recent band here. Let me look up their.
But even their like album cover looks like a 70s album cover.
Right. It definitely has like
that's what they're going
quality.
for. I'm assuming that's what they're going
for.
Right.
Yeah, it does certainly seem that way. And there's always bands that do throwbacks styles. I'm thinking like a band like Foxygen, for instance. They were able to do throwbacks, but at their best, they're able to like bring something new to it.
And that's what I always look for, like in bands that do stuff like that really lean heavy into an old style. Like that's their main influence.
Yeah.
That's fine if you do that. I just like it when they bring something new to it.
Right.
Like bring their own twist to it, or bring like maybe another influence in it as well to like meld it.
Yeah, especially when it's a style that's like so well traversed and so well known.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean like I enjoy the song, but they need to bring something new to the table if I was to come back to them. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's been some of our new music stuff. Just for fun. What was your favorite song that we heard today?
I don't know why I didn't expect you to ask me that. I'm like caught off guard. Let me see.
Oh, there's the Kanye West song. We listened to My Morning Jacket. James Blake had that single in there. 100 Gecs.
I don't know.
Kid Cudi.
James Blake is
Beths.
He's like my man crush, I think. He like gets me in the field. He makes me want to marry him.
Makes you want to snuggle up and
he makes me just want to snuggle up and cry, and I'm like, it's all right, James Blake. Actually, he'd be probably comforting me because I'd be crying about my own problems. Just like Pencil.
Just like Pencil. His cat.
My cat cries in Spanish.
That wasn't my favorite, obviously.
I want to say ringtone as well, but that's cheating because it's an old song.
It's an old song, but out of the songs that is new to me, and like I feel like out of the ones that we heard today, that one's the one that I thought was my favorite.
Yeah,
was ringtone by 100 Gecs.
That's just like, I don't know. It didn't come out that long ago, but it sounds like a classic to me already. Like that's so, it's like a perfect pop song. Yeah,
that song's right up my alley. I'm gonna say that one's probably like my favorite. I think of the ones that we heard today. Not to mention, I mean, there's a lot of other ones that I thought were standouts.
I mean, honestly, I liked the majority of these songs. I thought most of them were great.
I like that Pottery song. The
Beths song was really good.
Beths song was good. Honestly, Haim, it took me like. I think that Sheryl Crow connection and also the Rostam production I thought was pretty good.
I mean, I've been listening to that Haim album a lot this week, and it's really good. You should definitely listen to it. It's really good.
Yeah, even Cudi and Eminem has some good verses.
I was surprised by that song, honestly. I didn't expect it to be good.
Yeah.
And
it was good. I'll give a shout out to My Morning Jacket. Usually like bands that have been around for this long can't keep up.
Still had some decent quality. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, kind of jam in there. And
Kanye West, he's doing something.
Kanye West. Something.
It wasn't the worst. It's not the worst that he's done.
No, it definitely was not.
I like it.
At least he's not talking about like having sex with his family anymore. So.
What was that one song you want to have sex with?
Yeah, he's talking about the one about the Kardashian sisters. Yeah.
My God, I like the beat on that song though.
It entertained me, and that's the most we can.
Well, let's leave on that, guys. Thank you for listening.
We've been Blood on the Mic. You can find us on YouTube.
Obviously, hit the like button, subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash every button around you. Just any button next to there, just smash it. Smash it.
But we do release these also in podcast form. So wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, whatever.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at Blood on the Mic 1.
Instagram at
Blood on the Mic. Follow me at Torna Lewis on Twitter. And thank you for listening and watching. Goodbye.